Okay. Okay, yeah, 926. Welcome, Mr. Smith. We just recessed while we were finished up the other business, and we're getting some other folks that phoned in back online here.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Ledbetter. Jay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back. Mr. Smith has joined us from Hines County.
Deal.
We're back.
Okay.
Yours Smith from Hines County is here.
Okay.
Everybody on? Okay. We're going to resume and taking up the matter of request from Hines County for the purchase of radios in the amount of $113,265. So, Mr. Smith, would you like to present to the committee this request?
Yes, sir. I don't know how
You're welcome to sit down at the table and sure, make yourself comfortable.
Yes, Chairman, I'm George Smith, representing Hines County, for the request. As you know, Byram requested the county to purchase radio. And this is to finish this request. That still is on the table. And the reason for that is that we have not received from anyone making a change on the request that was made to us. Their request was to order the radios, 15 portable radios, 30 mobile radios, and at the time they also ordered us to request it that they make some changes on some. I think I sent that in. They have a request to make some conversions on some. And the board have not, like as I stated again, have not received anything saying that they do not need or want every request that was made. So the board sent in, and here are the minutes. Made those requests, made those things done, and it's still in process. So that's the best I can explain, that the request is still on the table.
So it's your understanding that Hines County intends to proceed with the purchase of these radios for the city of Byram?
Yes, sir. Unless there's a request to do different, and at this point there's no, that we have not received a request for anything to be done different. So we're making we have the radios, we're making the conversions that they requested. Board acted on everything that they requested.
I'm throwing over to the committee. Any questions anybody would like to ask Mr. Smith about?
The questions for me.
Right. I got a question, and I guess being in the Clare Ledger doesn't necessarily mean that y'all been put on notice. I just kind of wonder if Byram came before the committee a month, 6 or 7 months ago, and had a request put into the committee and it was approved by the commission, and y'all are going forward with purchasing radios under the assumption that Byram's still gonna take them. What if Byram does not take the radios?
Well, I can't answer that, sir. But now, once we got the official request from our, it goes through we have a commission, advisory commission, 911 advisory commission. Once we got the official request from them, we went ahead, acted on it. The chief came before the board at the time of the request that was made. When the chief came before the board, and we have that in the minutes, we had the radios to them in 4 days. The 5th day, our professionals went out to discuss the installation of those radios. So they had been here before other radios were on. They was here in town and ready to be installed.
So, just a hypothetical, if Byram notified you this afternoon that they didn't need the radios, then you wouldn't need this request, is what you're saying?
Well, it would have to go before the board, and it would be 2 weeks before we could do anything about it.
One other question. There's a requirement with purchasing things off the EPL, which is called the Express Products List with ITS, that any expenditure from that EPL over $100,000, you must have ITS's permission to do that procurement. Do you know whether Hinds County has secured that procurement approval from ITS?
I don't want to make an error. I think so, sir. I put the best that I can answer that. I think so.
Did y'all check with ITS on this request, Bill?
Yes, they don't have a request.
You do not? Maybe, okay.
You say we do not?
That has not been
Those
done.
have not been submitted by the years.
Any other questions? Well,
No, sir, I would just, do we need a motion to have a discussion, or do we need to, can we?
we had a discussion around that. We're asking questions here. And
I just got, first of all, let's clear up some misinformation about E.F. Johnson radios and the operation on the system. The radios that they're requesting will operate on the Hinds County system and the Midway system. The concern, the way I understand it from some of the correspondence I read, is over what's called TDMA and whether the radio should come with a subscription for TDMA or not. And when we were giving out grants for PSIC funding, we required agencies to pay for the TDMA upgrade when they bought the radio, so that later on, when the system went to TDMA or Hinds County modifies their system, TDMA is going to be the phase 2 P25 requirements, that software be already paid for, pre-invoiced, so that it would not be a cost at that time that maybe government does not have, and thereby the system doesn't have the benefits of the TDMA. But the radios that you're requesting, we'll work on both systems. It's just that the TDMA question is a concern now. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Jay Speed, this is Quincy. Speak to that effect when we're talking about TDMA capable radios. I don't think, Roger, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anybody is actually producing radios now that are TDMA compliant. So what we're saying is kind of, we're looking to the future. So you can't really just say you're making a purchase. You can't really say E.F. Johnson versus Motorola. I mean, one radio might have a slot and say, okay, in the future, it can become, but that's no more than what it is, it's a slot. So I don't really think that's a big issue.
I think I can guarantee you that, probably before this year is over, if that TDA is needed, that there would be no cost to Hines County to make sure that that's taken care of. So that is not an issue here, I don't think, today, because whatever is needed. And one of the things that we just also say to you that Hines County is in the process of doing, like we do on, I would say, on our infrastructure. We're doing a comprehensive communications plan. And you have the city of Jackson, the city of Clinton, and all the other municipalities will be under the umbrella of Hines County system, so as Byram. And we want to make sure, as we go down the road, that we all are in communications and have the same identical thing and be able to communicate. And and these radio bits and that radio and make sure that does happen. We have, I guess you want to call it, everybody that needs a piece of communication equipment will have to come to Hines County to get on program and have a key to do so. We're not going to get something that does not work on our system. And also the miscellaneous system.
So you guys are definitely going to work with the business system.
Yeah, you can still communicate with, but locally, that's in order to be able to communicate statewide. But a county system has to be able, for them to be able to communicate with the sheriff's department, all the other municipalities within Hines County will have to be on our system, but they can still get on the miscellaneous system, which is a statewide system.
Well, this one, approach.
But
So, I guess with their request right now, I guess that a big issue was the fact that supposedly there was a request or apparent request for radios for the city of Byram, and Byram already has supposed radios. So I guess what we probably would have wanted to do was if they changed the request to reflect it was for the Hines County, maybe for some other use or something. I mean, help correct me. I'm sure we've done this before. I mean, have we done this before?
I don't think so. I think it would require another request saying that the radios, maybe the first thing that happens is Byram has to notify Hines County that they don't want to have the radios. And
They've not given you any formal notification that they are not going to accept the radio.
Hines County speaks through its minutes. That the request came to us, we have the minutes to prove, to show that what was asked for on both occasions. We have that request. And in that we speak through our minutes, we have to then turn around and get a request, and then it speaks through our minutes. So we continue to do what we're supposed to do, or what we were requested to do through our minutes. And that's what we've done.
Well, I mean, if you put it in that sense, I guess we can't, anything else be speculation. You know, if we, I'm asking though.
I mean, there's a chief sitting right there. I don't know that we can speculate. I mean, the men sitting here.
I don't know. Yes.
I mean, I think the question is, number one, have y'all already purchased radios and paid for them?
Correct.
So The next question I have, and keep your thought just a minute,
No, they're not, I'm sorry.
they're not paid for.
You know.
So if we don't take this up today, then you could have some time to amend your request, given the notification that Hines County, that Byram gives to Hines County, then you might not need the radios as well. That's kind of where we're not operating in a vacuum here, I don't think.
No.
We're
suspending the reality.
You're speaking from your minutes, we're speaking from what we know, from what we've been able to glean. And what's been here before us before is that they've requested that. I'm the chairman of the interoperability committee that you spoke a while ago about wanting to be able to interoperate with the state and Hines County and other agencies. If Byram is buying these radios, and are they going to be allowed to operate on the Hines County system?
Upon a request, they don't have to request.
Do
They
you
have to
charge?
be programmed through Hines County.
Well, I think, I don't know, I'm not technical about all that, but now my next question is, do you charge other cities in your county for access to your system?
Some cases.
Some agencies, but as far as, Jackson or Clinton or
No.
Raymond or, okay. Could they have, if they get to the information, are y'all gonna allow them to operate or interoperate on the Hines County system?
Well, the board has to make that decision.
Yes, sir, but there's an interoperability question here. I think that my committee is gonna want to need an answer for as to whether Byram's gonna be out there on an island, or whether they're gonna have the ability to interoperate with the city of Jackson or Hines County or everybody else.
That I don't know.
Okay.
And that if we had moved forward as we were going, I know they would have, because, the request came to us as any other town, Terry, both Edwards, Clinton, we buy equipment for all of the other municipalities upon request. And that's what happens. But this has not happened yet, so I don't know what they decide, what their decision is. It may be that they don't want to be on our system, they want to be on Ms. Wynn's.
But back, just real quick, but back to what they want, what you want, we are charged with the state law to ensure interoperability. That's one of our charges, is the commission. And we want to foster that as much as we can.
And that's what we want.
And if we want to postpone this request until we can get some of these answered, is that okay with you?
For that.
So you don't want, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
so you don't want to go ahead with,
Well, we
What's
wanted
the-
to meet the requirements that we are supposed, we don't want to be left. That's why we made all the orders and everything that was requested. We do not want to hold up for whatever has nothing to do with the media. We want to make sure, as we have with all the other towns, our request is to have what they want. Now, if they want to make changes, that's fine. But we as a board want to do what's requested of us. And the request, and we wanted to finalize the request. And if they want to accept that, then, but I can't tell you all what to do. But I'm trying to fulfill what's requested of the board of supervisors.
okay, so you say the board of supervisors want to approve?
Yes, the board of supervisors want to fulfill our mission. And once we've done that, and if there's any other changes to be made, but again, I can't tell you all what to do.
Well, this would be probably one of my last things said, I represent local government, so Huff understands that. I don't think we around here, we're tasked with doing the job, and I think we shouldn't get into the business of telling local government officials what to do with funding on their level. I mean, if there's anything else, I don't watch TV much at all. I mean, I'm here, maybe we're dealing with the flooding issue like everybody else. But that's left for other agencies, other branches of government. I think if we need to help the county in actually amending their request order, or you would know, I mean, like I said, we've ordered radios in which we've kept in reserve for the state system. If that's what Hines County ends up doing with the radios they have since Byram no longer wants them, I'm sure these gentlemen can find a way to actually amend that and go forward with the process. But I think it's a slippery slope. And I'm saying that, like I said, because it's Hines County today, it could be Simpson County tomorrow, it could be the city of Richland. I mean, I'm sure the mayors and supervisors will not want the board deciding what they do with their funding. You know, I mean, that's where we're going. I mean, if there's something going, if there's some speculation going in any kind of way, there are different venues for that. This is not the venue.
Yeah.
Actually, Quincy, that is in our statute, that we're responsible for appropriate use of public funds, taxpayer funds for communication devices. We're supposed to assist in the planning and approval of those procurements. To ensure that their interoperability and that any expenditure of public funds for communications equipment is compatible and interoperable with. So far, what you're talking about, $800, it is.
You get closer to the local government, to the people and the first responders. That's just. I understand.
I totally understand, but that's what the law says. I didn't write it. I wasn't even here then.
I understand.
But I did talk to our attorney this morning.
So there's no.
But I think the proper course of action here, I think, I just work for the commission, I work for you guys, is that Hines County would need to get we need to go, the board of supervisors would have to amend the board minutes and change this to the radios being used for some other purpose. And submit a list based on they're going to be used for Jackson Fire or whatever. And represent the request of the and that could be approved by the commission.
Assuming they got official notification from Byram, as they.
I'm sorry, say that.
Right.
Assuming that you did not get, that you got official notification from Byram that they no longer wanted the radios, that would then cause you to amend your request for some of the radios be used for some other purpose.
Well, again, it would have,
And the board would have to
the board's
speak to that.
decision. I can't, I'm just one bit of the board.
I don't want to put you on the spot, any more than you already been put on the spot. But do you have some feeling about what the city of Byram's position is on this that you want to say to the committee?
I'm pretty sure, and this has been an ongoing situation. Mr. Smith, with all due respect, not having official notification, I have contacted Mr. Lewis on a number of occasions. Your consultant, Mr. Hargrove, and I have had several conversations to say that the county's not, one, to say the county's fulfilled my request is not exactly correct, because we did come requesting what this committee had approved, and as you're aware, Mr. Graham changed that. This committee, our representatives of the Wireless Commission, told us about pre-buying the upgrade, the TDMA upgrade. That is what we moved forward with. The upgrades for the E.F. Johnson radios, of course, made those radios more expensive. Motorola radios were statewide, our state contract pricing. We had come before this committee and sought approval and received subsequent approval for that. I can officially now say the city of Byram does not want the E.F. Johnson radios that the county has purchased. We never requested those radios. We requested radios. We made a very specific request based on the rules of the Hines County 911 Council that we had sought approval for And that request was changed for us when Hinds County, under the motion of Mr. Robert Graham, decided to not follow their own purchasing policies and basically buy us what he wanted us to have. And that was in the board meeting. I've got timelines coming up and deadlines coming up. We have a police department to build, and the radios, I'm told, we're here 4 days. I have yet to see a single radio. I have not laid out. The only time I've seen any of Johnson radio was on Channel 3 News. I have been in contact with Mr. Hargrove one time. The requests, the change orders that keep being mentioned that are costing so much more, that are holding things up. I was able, through a local vendor, to borrow a couple of power supplies for mobile radios that I bought, which would have been part of the original 30 mobiles that we requested. I borrowed some power supplies and an antenna, and there's a radio right now in the Hinds County Dispatch Center where they can talk to us. That was always a temporary fix. It was never to cost any more money, and to say that that's been our holdup is a farce.
But not to cut you short, but just couple questions. One, did you, and when the request went to the Board of Supervisors, was that through the minutes of the Board of Aldermen and City of Byram?
We had not taken it before the Board of Aldermen. The Board of Aldermen were fully aware of what we were doing. It was not in the minutes because the funding, the policies of the Hinds County 911 Council are that once the 911 Council makes the recommendation to the Board of Supervisors, the Board of Supervisors issues the 911 funds to the entity. And then in this case, the City of Byram, and the City of Byram would follow state purchasing laws to use that money in the way that we told the 911 Council we would. And then we would provide the county with an inventory of the items that we purchased.
Based on what Supervisor Smith is saying, they need some kind of official notification if in fact that request is being withdrawn. And so I'm not sure if you need something, if you're officially stating the position of the City of Byram, if they need, the Board of Supervisors need some sort of resolution from the city or some kind of letter from the mayor that would officially withdraw the request.
I would like to know specifically what they're asking for, because another issue we've had, we made 2 requests officially that were previously approved by the Board of Supervisors for PSAP, and then it all came down to I had to write a 2-line letter that said, please let this be my official request to be a PSAP. So if the message has not been made clear at this point, I would like to specifically know what that letter needs to say, and I can have
minutes or yes, sir.
Let me just say, I did not come here to debate the issue. I came to make sure that we get what's requested of us by Byram, get it approved. But I will go back and say that, and the reason I say that is because we're not in conflict with Byram. We want to be partners of Byram as we are with all the other municipalities, political subdivisions in Hinds County. We have more than just radios and communications to work with them on. Public Works, fire, all this, so this is just a side issue. But in all respect to the chief here, he came before the board and made these requests. We have it on tape, if need be. When he requested this, he made, and this is on tape, is that it didn't matter what type of radios, all I want is radios to be ready to operate by June. And this is exactly what we did. We ordered the radios. When the ordered radios were ordered, there was an attempt to set up for the radios to be installed and all, and we got another request for some conversions to be made. 2 requests. one request was that we don't want you to install them, we have somebody to install them. That did stall us, and the reason it stalled us is because the radios that Hines County purchased for $113,000, the warranty along with the installation is in that price. Therefore, they refused, we don't want them installed, and that stopped the process. And the two requests were stopped, and that request, everything came back to the board, and then again, from that, the board acted on it. So I don't, again, I didn't come to debate that, but all of this that I'm telling you is not necessarily in the minutes, but it's on tape as to what everybody said and what everybody requested.
Well,
Jay and I, and probably several other people in this room, has got a conference call we've got to attend at about 3 o'clock. And of course, they'll have a lot of introductions on the conference call, so the meeting of the matter probably 20 minutes into it. I'm gonna make a motion that we postpone or table this request and allow Hines County to resubmit their request. In light of what the chief said and what he still got to verify that there's not been a request sent to ITS. The motion is that, but we can have another procurement meeting between now and the next commission meeting to resolve this issue, because the commission has given us the authority to approve up to $250,000. So it's not like that you would have to wait another month to have this resolved. So my motion is to table this matter, allow Hines County to procure the approval from ITS, amend their request, and have time to make a determination as to whether they want to continue with the Byram portion of this, or if they just want to continue with the radios and put them in your stockpile or inventory. And that's my motion.
You have any reaction to that, Mr. Smith?
Well, I think it's not fair for Hines County in that we are doing what was requested of us, and that we have on tape, on file, as to exactly those requests. We've had requests, and that's putting Hines County in an awkward position, but
Sir, I understand that, but I've got an email here that says that your folks knew that they needed to come to this commission back in March to talk about it. It says that your folks, your personnel, and I'm not gonna call any names today, had given information that they knew that they had to come to this commission back in March for procurement authority on these radios. So I think that with my motion, that gives you time. I just don't feel good about me voting for a procurement request that just because it's in your minutes, that we've had people here, the chief, as well as you say, and you don't know whether they still need them or not. Now, Hines County could very well use the radios in some other capacity. I don't have an issue with that. I think that what we're looking at is the same as you do, is the legitimacy of your request. Not that your minutes reflect that Byram's requested. Byram's here saying they're not.
why would you go by you request for the county, from the county, then why would you then, 2 or 3 weeks later, the council would order some radios knowing that these radios were here on the ground?
That's just what Quincy said a while ago. That's not in our purview. Our purview is that you've got a request to buy Byram radios. You've not complied with the ITS guidelines on permission from them. And all I'm doing is giving you time to do those things. That's all, that's all, and if you know, if the committee don't agree with it, then that's their vote. I'm just trying to work some way out that could benefit everybody, that's not.
The committee did know that, there was a request coming from Hines County.
If you want to go back and speak to your minutes and you're going to speak to ours, no, sir. I'm not aware that we knew one was coming.
Sheriff, is there some kind of conditional approval you could do? Is there some, I mean, because we still have to kick it down to the bigger committee, the bigger commission. We don't have to, it's not. Yeah. So.
Certainly, you know, we can't resolve these issues here that are at odds in this meeting. That needs to be done, you know, between the parties, and we're not picking one side or the other here. We're just trying to go by our procedures and rules, and we need to try to get a clean request in here that everyone's in agreement with, if we possibly can. And without unduly delaying Hines County or any other parties, and we'd be glad to accommodate you by coming back after you've had a chance to correct these flaws in the request. But I think that's basically what Mr. Huff is saying.
I guess, let me ask this then. Have we met, every, I'm trying to make sure, in order to meet the request, have we met all the procedures, everything that it takes for this to be approved?
And you're saying that the
Regardless of the situation.
Radios have not been paid for yet?
Everything, make fun?
Radios have not been paid for yet? This is not a retroactive request?
No, they have not been paid. Have we met everything that needs to be met to approve this request?
Well, we know there hasn't been an ITS approval given.
That's the only other, as far as the procurement committee.
If you're sticking by the minutes and the request as though it's still valid, then
If
the
I guess
ITS.
I'm asking, if it came to, there were no revision, there was no dissension, if you want to call it here today, what would have caused this request not to be approved?
What ITS, and the fact that the radio, rather than be going for the city of Byram, it would be going to your stockpile. Is there anything else? And the ITS approval is based on the fact that your proposals used for your radio system would be that it would work on the state system, right?
Well, ITS has a Catholic Express policy, which is like a catalog. There's $100,000 limit on buying off of that catalog without submitting a plan to ITS and getting approval from the executive director of ITS to exceed that catalog limit.
Okay, so we can go back. So basically, you can go to ITS and
Submit a request to ITS to exceed their express products list purchasing that. Go purchase over $100,000 off of their catalog. Now, that's kind of could have done their own bids, their own RFP, but the request is they're going to buy it off of ITS express products. So So as part of that procedure, several $100,000, it has to be approved by the
Or if they'd have purchased off of the state contract, they wouldn't have gone to ITS. So there's,
I'm
I'm talking about the state Midland contract, the Midland contract. They would not have had to go through ITS for that.
This is not our procurement.